Coming Home to Nothing, a Story by Edna. My name is Edna, and I'm going to tell you about the day I came home to nothing. Not nothing as in empty rooms, nothing as in someone had erased me. Erased 40 years of my life from the home I built with my own hands. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me start from the beginning. I worked overseas for 2 years. Long shifts, hard days, lonely nights, all so I could keep my house, my beautiful house, back home. It wasn't a mansion, but it was mine. Every piece of furniture, every picture, on the wall, belonged to me and to the life I had lived. I had a rose-coloured armchair by the window where I used to read every Sunday morning. I had a kitchen table my late husband and I had bought together on our anniversary. I had a bedroom, set that took me 3 years of saving to afford. That house was not just 4 walls, it was my entire story. Now, my son Jeff had been struggling. He'd lost his job, and his marriage was having problems. He called me one evening, his voice low, and asked if he and his wife Kelly could stay at my place. Just temporarily, he said, just until they got back on their feet. I didn't hesitate for a single second. He was my son. Of course I said yes. I told him to treat it like his home. I trusted him completely. That was my first mistake. Not loving my son, trusting him without limits. For the first few months, everything seemed fine. Jeff would call. We'd chat, nothing felt wrong. Then the calls got shorter, then they got less frequent. I told myself he was just busy settling in. I didn't push. I'm not that kind of mother. After 2 years, my contract ended. I packed my bags, booked my flight, and headed home. I remember sitting on that plane, eyes closed, just smiling to myself. I was thinking about that rose-coloured armchair, about finally sleeping in my own bed again, about cooking in my kitchen and walking my yard in the morning. I didn't even call ahead to let Jeff know the exact date I was coming. I wanted it to be a surprise, a happy homecoming for both of us. My taxi pulled up to the house, and I almost asked the driver if he had the right address. The garden looked different. The curtains in the windows were not mine. There was a new welcome mat on the front porch. It said the Hendersons on it. Henderson is Jeff's last name, his father's name, my late husband's name. And yet seeing it on that mat made my stomach drop. Something was already wrong. I could feel it before I even knocked. Kelly answered the door. She looked startled. And not in a happy way. Not the, oh my goodness, what a wonderful surprise kind of startled, more like the, why are you here kind. She stepped halfway out the door, blocking the entrance with her body. Kelly, sweetheart, it's so good to see you, I said. I'm home. Can I come in? She said, and I will never forget these words. Edna, you should have called first. I laughed, genuinely laughed, because I thought she was joking. Kelly, this is my house, I said. I don't need to call ahead to come home. She didn't move. She just looked at me with a cold, flat expression. Then Jeff appeared behind her. He looked guilty. He couldn't hold my eyes. I pushed past Kelly gently and stepped into my home, and what I saw stopped my heart. Everything was gone. Every single thing I owned. The rose armchair, the anniversary table, the photos on the walls, all of it gone. In their place was sleek modern furniture I had never seen a day in my life, grey couches, glass tables, abstract art on walls, that used to hold my family's faces. I walked through each room slowly, my bedroom, my kitchen, my sitting room. All of it redesigned, redecorated, repainted, like I had never existed there. I turned to Jeff and asked him very calmly, "Where is my furniture?" He said they had put some of it in storage and donated the rest because it was outdated. Donated. My husband's table. My memories. Donated. I sat down on a couch that wasn't mine, in a home that was mine, and I just breathed. Then Jeff sat across from me and said the words that changed everything. Mom, Kelly and I have made this our home now. We love it here, he said. We think it would be best if you found a hotel for a few nights, while we figure out next steps. I want you to picture being a mother, working overseas for 2 years, alone, sending money, taking calls, trusting, and coming home to this. Being told to go to a hotel, in your own home, by your own son. I looked at Jeff for a long time. Then I stood up, picked up my bags and said, "All right, I'll go, but this is not over." I went to a hotel that night. I sat on the edge of the queue. Bed and I did not cry. I was past tears. I was in a place much colder than sadness. The next morning, I called a lawyer. A real one, not a family friend, a proper attorney. I explained everything. She asked me one question. "Is the deed in your name?" "Yes," I said. "Has been since 1987. "Then we have everything we need," she said. "This will be straightforward." She filed for an eviction notice within 48 hours. Jeff called me the moment it was served. His voice was a different kind of startled now. "Mum, you're seriously doing this?" he said. "We're family. You're taking us to court." "Jeffrey," I said, "you told me to find a hotel, in my own house, so yes, I am." He tried to guilt me. He brought up his childhood. He brought up his father. He cried. I listened. And then I said, "I'll see you in court." And I hung up. We also filed a civil suit for $10,000, the cost to restore my home to its original condition. Every piece of furniture they removed, every room they repainted without permission, every item they donated that belonged to me was documented and given a dollar value. My attorney was thorough. She was also furious on my behalf, quietly. I appreciated that. Sometimes you need someone in your corner who's angry for you. The court date came. Jeff and Kelly arrived with their own attorney. Kelly wouldn't look at me. Jeff looked at me like he still expected me to back down. He didn't know me as well as he thought. My attorney presented the deed. She presented photos of my original home. She presented the inventory of missing and donated items and my hotel receipts. She presented text messages where Jeff referred to the house as our home and told me to find somewhere to stay. Jeff's attorney argued it was a family misunderstanding, that no harm was intended. The judge looked at the evidence. Then she looked at Jeff. "Sir," she said, "I remember this clearly. Regardless of family relation, you occupied a property without legal right, removed the owner's possessions, and then denied the legal owner access to her own home. Intention does not erase action. We won. The eviction was upheld, and was..." Jeff and Kelly had 30 days to vacate, and the $10,000 civil claim was awarded in full. I walked out of that courthouse and stood in the sun for a moment. I wasn't cheering. I wasn't celebrating. I was just breathing. Because winning in court doesn't give you back what you lost in your heart. It doesn't give you back the table, or the years, or the trust. But it gives you justice, and sometimes justice is all you have left. Jeff and Kelly moved out within the 30 days. I'm told Kelly never said a word to anyone about it. Jeff, on the other hand, called me the day after they left. His voice was different this time, smaller, softer. "Mum, I am so sorry," he said. "I don't know what I was thinking. Kelly convinced me the house would just sit empty, that you'd be fine, that you'd understand." He said he regretted it. Every day. He said he missed me. He begged me to forgive him. He asked if we could start over. I listened to every word. I let him finish. And then I said, "Jeffrey, I want you to hear me clearly. I believe that you're sorry now. I believe that you feel regret. But I need you to understand something about what you actually did. You didn't make a mistake. Mistakes are accidents. What you did took planning. It took time. It took decisions. You went into my home. You removed my furniture piece by piece. You donated your father's table, the one he picked out with me. You painted over walls I had lived in. You put a mat outside with your name on it. And then, when I came home after 2 years of working alone in a foreign country, you stood in my doorway and told me to go find a hotel. That is not a mistake, Jeffrey. That is a choice. A series of choices, made over months, deliberately. There was silence on the line. The kind of silence that means someone knows you're right. "Mum, please," he said. "I'm still your son. Don't cut me off." "I'm not cutting you off, Jeffrey. I said. I'm telling you the truth. There are things in this world that sit outside of forgiveness, not because I'm a hard woman, but because forgiveness has to be earned and you have not even begun that process. Sorry is a word. Repair is a lifetime of actions. He started crying. I did not. I hope you live a good life, Jeffrey, I said. I genuinely mean that. I hope you and Kelly find your footing. I hope you grow into a better man. But my home is no longer a place you are welcome to come to. Not because I hate you, but because I respect myself too much to pretend that what happened can be smoothed over with an apology. Have a nice life, son. And I hung up. People have asked me since then if I regret it. If I regret not forgiving him. If I regret taking my own son to court. And my answer is always the same. No. Because here's what I learned in all my years on this earth. The people who love you don't make you prove you own your own home. They don't erase your life while you're away trusting them. And when you forgive, without accountability, you don't heal a relationship. You just teach people that your boundaries have no consequence. I went back to my house after Jeff and Kelly left. I walked through every room. It still didn't feel like mine. The walls were the wrong colour, the furniture was foreign, but the deed was still in my name, and that $10,000 was in my account. So I hired painters. I found a furniture restorer. I tracked down a table at an antique shop that reminded me of the one Jeff donated away. It wasn't the same, but it was mine. I put photos back on the walls, pictures of my life, my real life, not an abstract painting chosen by someone who decided my story wasn't worth keeping. And slowly, room by room, I rebuilt it. My home came back to me. I still wake up on Sunday. Mornings and sit by the window with my book. I found a new armchair, deep green this time, softer than the old one. I drink my tea. I watch the light come in. And I feel something I didn't expect to feel after everything that happened. Peace. Not the peace of forgetting, not the peace of pretending, but the peace of a woman who stood her ground, who didn't let guilt make her small, who chose herself without apology. If you're reading this, and someone has made you feel like you owe them grace they haven't earned, I want you to hear this. You are not hard for having limits. You are not cold for protecting yourself. You are not a bad mother or sister or friend for saying, that was too far. That's all I have to say. I am Edna, and this is my home. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe.